What's your favorite thing to do on the news?
My favorite thing to do on the news. Right now, because I'm pretty young, I really like reporting, but I love that I get to fill in on the anchor desk. It's fun to have a half hour, but in the clip that you guys watched of me on the 10 o'clock news on Sunday, what's surprising when you do the 10 o'clock news as an anchor is how fast it goes. Like, there's not much for you to do. You keep throwing it to reporters and this reporter and this weather guy, and by the time the show is over, you think, I've maybe said 2 minutes worth of stuff.
What was he doing?
What do you do? What were you doing
when the weather's going on?
Yeah.
And well, of course you're always listening very attentively to what the other people are saying. Usually you listen, like when the weather usually they were good football games, so I did pay attention to the sportscast. The weather report, the other anchor Terry Gruca and I were actually talking through the first part of the weather report. We weren't paying attention. I'm sorry, Paul Huttner. We were not paying attention to you.
What was your job before you were on the news?
Before I was on the news? That's a good question. I used to work all the time. Like when I was a kid, I was a basketball referee. I was a scorekeeper for softball games. I used to supervise a softball league. But I worked at a swimming pool. I worked in a concession stand at a swimming pool. So I worked all sorts of crazy jobs when I was young.
Do you have any friends from the newscast?
There are a bunch of my coworkers. Actually, every Thursday night, tonight, after our news, we all go out. Like, you guys only see those of us who are on TV, but there are so many people that have to work to get that newscast on the air. We have, like, our 10 o'clock news has anchors, Don and Amelia, but there's a guy named Matt who's the producer of that show, and Matt writes. He writes almost everything that Don and Amelia say. So there's Matt, then there's Peter who works on the assignment desk, and Peter listens to police scanners to hear stuff happening and answers phone calls and emails. And then you have all these photographers, and the photographers, like Lucas here, are the ones who do the real hard work, who are out there shooting all the video. So it really takes this huge team to put together the whole newscast. So I hang out with a lot of those people.
What was probably the weirdest news report that you ever encountered?
I did a story on a cow with 5 legs once. That was odd. That was weird. They called him Tripod because he had 3 legs and back like a tripod. That was pretty odd.
How many hours do you work a day?
Like, actually at work, I start at 2:30 and I usually end at 10:30, so it's usually about an 8-hour day. But I do like stuff like this. This is part of my job, but like I won't get paid for being here today. But I kind of start working first thing in the morning. I check my email. At about 10 o'clock this morning, I got a phone call from somebody who wanted to talk to me about a story. So it feels like you're always working. But actually at the office, I'm usually there for 8 hours.